the environment that they live in. If they've not been shown any empathy themselves, then they're very unlikely to show it to anybody else.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing too, though, is kids now are becoming so less empathetic because of becoming so desensitized to everything. And I think that empathy is almost something you have to teach some people, unfortunately, and teach people of like, listen, how would you like it if someone did that to you? How would that make you feel? And if you're like, wait, I wouldn't like that, that would feel like crap, be like, okay, then why am I making someone else feel like that? It's, it all requires really being self aware. And a lot of bullies are not self aware. But if you're a victim of bullying, you end up getting to that point of being self aware because you realize, wait a second, I wouldn't want anyone else to feel this way. So I'm not going to fight fire with fire. I'm going to treat people with respect and kindness. And that's their issue, because it's not your problem.
Yeah, how do is that self-awareness just something that comes with the territory, or is that something you've had to work on to try and get to that point?
I think it's definitely something I've worked on for sure, but I also think that it's something that comes with like through experiences that you go through. You can see like, oh, like okay, that actually wasn't my fault, or really just reflecting on things. I think self-awareness requires to reflect a lot. And I think that that's something I have developed over time of like, listen, like I need to be aware of, how I'm making people feel. I need to be aware of how I'm making myself feel. I need to be aware of how I'm talking to myself. That all comes with time. And maybe it's happened as I've gotten older, but it really is something that it's like, when you're self aware, you're so much more in tune with yourself. And when you're self aware, you're less like bothered, I guess I would say, because you're just kind of like, okay, well, like that wasn't like, okay, like let it go, move on.
Yeah, I find it quite difficult to, for people because I struggled with it a long time, and it's taken me, I mean, 30 plus years probably to figure out, who I am and be comfortable with myself. And I was fortunate enough. I didn't particularly get bullied in school. I had a pretty good journey through school, really. So I was very fortunate in that sense. Um, and I find it really difficult because it took me this long. So I imagine how much harder it must be if you've gone through bullying and you've been put down for a long period of time, and you at an early age feel that anxiety, that depression. It must be really difficult to climb out of that.
For sure.